Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
He's at the 20.
They should stop this one.
Domination! Snot bubbles!
He throws. Complete. Touchdown. They've got him again. They've got him again. Sack Crumpler. What a throw. What a hit. What a catch.
Defense is just way too much for the count.
It's caught by Alshon Jeffrey for a touchdown. He pushes. Touchdown. Jalen Hunt. Touchdown. A.J. Brown. A run. He's going to score.
It's a touchdown by Nick Foles. The train is in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Torrey Smith in for the touchdown is Jefferson.
Touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
It's a bittersweet day in Philadelphia as we say goodbye to the 15-year veteran Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham has been a pillar in the community of Philadelphia, and over the last 15 to 16 years, he's donated and dedicated his life and career to the city of Philly. I gotta say, man, what a season, what a career for Brandon Graham. I remember when he became the bust. What started out 15 to 16 years ago as a rough start in Philadelphia, Brandon Graham will walk away from the game on top of a mountain. You're talking about 15 seasons, 206 games played, two-time Super Bowl champion, 76.5 sacks, 23 career fumbles, one-time Pro Bowler, and 2 Walter Payton Man of the Year awards.
While my time on the field is coming to an end, my love for this team and city will never fade. Philadelphia and everybody, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank y'all. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. My last one. BG out, baby.
And I honestly got emotional watching BG do his retirement speech. I mean, 15 seasons, we're talking about the sack on Brady that gave us our first Super Bowl in Eagles history. We're talking about a guy who's been there over 200 games, and he's been nothing but a pillar in the community. His dedication and his love for Philly will never go unnoticed. Thank you, BG. This isn't at all going to be the last sighting of BG because he said at the retirement speech that he wants to sit down with Mr. Lurie and see what else he can do for the team moving forward in the facility and still play a role for the Eagles. So expect to see BG in the locker room on some unscripted videos, whatever it is. And now with Brandon Graham gone, the Eagles are really going to need some of those younger guys to step up on the defensive line. Jalex Hunt, Moro Ojomo, some of those guys. But I don't expect there to be a drop-off on the defensive line. I also expect those younger guys to step up and fill in that void that Brandon Graham left. Let's not forget, Nolan Smith just last year was a rookie, and he got underneath Brandon Graham's wing and became a dominant edge. So I have nothing but faith in the boys to bring us back another ring. But not only that, I have major trust in some of the guys that were behind Brandon Graham or some of the guys that played second and third year behind Brandon Graham on the defensive line. I have major, extreme hope for these guys and extreme belief that these guys can make the machine still run at a rapid pace, especially when you're speaking about the addition of Azeez Ojulari. That's right, the addition of Azeez Ojulari from the Giants. How we want to sign Azeez Ojulari for $4 million on a one-year deal. Ojulari had 6 sacks last year, but missed half of the season. This could work wonders for the pass rush because you went and got a pass rush specialist, but not only that, it creates depth and it gives your defense more looks, especially when you go and get a guy who has 6 sacks on the season, but was on pace for about 12 to 18. And with the addition of these 2 pass rushers, we'll definitely be looking out for the battle in Eagles training camp between Bryce Huff, Josh Uche, and Azeez Ojulari. Bryce Huff, who's coming off a down year. Speaking of pass rush, the Eagles went and signed linebacker Josh Uche. Uche is a 5-year veteran at this point, but he was drafted by the Patriots in 2020 and had an 11-sack season in 2022. Uche has 86 recorded tackles, 34 QB hits, and 20.5 sacks. He has a career high of 11.5 sacks in his 3rd season, which was in New England in 2022. But since 2022, Uche's been a no-show, with the scouting report by Lance Zierling saying that Uche's inexperience and lack of instincts makes him hard to evaluate, how he's unlikely to find sustained success as a situational rusher, but it should be in play for a team to turn loose his rush instincts and agility inside the pocket as a blitzer. He plays with closing bursts, can tackle, and is smoother in coverage than expected. And me, as a fan of Josh Uche's game, I'm not out on Josh Uche. I feel like Vic Fangio could turn this guy back into the monster that he came into the NFL being just 2 years prior to when he got drafted into the NFL. Now with the defense getting younger and BG's officially retiring, The Birds now have one of the youngest defensive lines in the NFL. Holy football. But the Eagles just keep getting younger. And with all of the trades that's taken place so far, some of the pieces that led the Eagles to the Super Bowl have left. But Howie has collected draft picks for the foreseeable future. And we know over time, he has a history of making huge splashes on draft day. Brains of the operation, Howie Roseman, he isn't just giving away players willy-nilly. He's gaining useful draft picks. As Adam Schefter reported that the Eagles are now poised to have 2026 third, 4th, 5th, and 6th round compensatory picks and now have the top 112th overall picks in the 2026 NFL draft. There's a method to the madness, and you can kind of tell in what direction Howie's going with this team, especially with the pickup of Josh Uche. You can start to understand with the departure of BG, this defense and the team overall just became even more younger. So with the addition of Azeez, you spread that youth from the secondary to the front four and even from the opposite side of the ball with the young offensive line. The oldest veteran on the team is Lane Johnson, and he's now become the elder statesman, if you will, picking up another contract for $48 million with 2 more years of his contract. So a lot of the proverbial sexy moves, you're still shoring up those key guys like Saquon Barkley, and those sexy moves are those moves right there. You want to key in on those guys that are in a vital position while simultaneously keeping the majority of the roster young. Now with C.J. Gardner being traded to the Houston Texans for right guard Kenyon Green, a ham sandwich, and a carton of cigarettes. And big play Slade, the veteran cornerback, getting the deal done with the Steelers and being released by the Eagles to save cap space. And Mekhi Becton, who tested out his value in free agency and caught a deal with the Chargers. And with the announcement yesterday of BG's retirement. Oh, yeah, you can't forget about Oren Burks, who became a free agent this offseason and went and got a deal done with the Cincinnati Bengals. Or can I interest you in Milton Williams becoming a free agent this offseason and signing a 4-year, $104 million deal on the first day of legal tampering? Or what about the Cardinals signing Josh Sweat to a 4-year, $76.4 million contract?
Damn! Good, then get the hell out of my life. Who needs you? Beat it. Leave me alone.
Howie said this was going to be a crazy offseason, that we were going to scratch our head at some of these moves, that we were going to see some things happen, and we were going to say, what the hell is Howie doing? But he told us to trust the process, and I'm trusting the process because why not? He's gave us every reason to trust the process. Look at the track record, the draft, free agency, how he's hitting the draft, how he's hitting free agency. This isn't a random GM like, the rest of these guys in the NFL who say things and put their foot in their mouths all the time, but we can't trust what they say. I honestly trust what Howie's saying this time. I honestly trust what Howie's saying all the time, but this time you have to really put your trust in Howie this time, because with all of these moves being made and all these trades happening, a lot of people tend to, lose faith in, what was the core of the defense, what brought us to the Super Bowl. Those things are still intact. We still have Zach Bond. We still have Moro Ojomo. We still have Nolan Smith. We still have Jalen Carter. These guys are still in the building. I think how we looked and seen and said, we have replacements in the building. I don't want to keep giving contracts to aging veterans like I did in 2017, in which it is a rumor that he gave those contracts to those aging veterans after that Super Bowl in 2017. And it caused us to fall off a cliff. And I think how he's seen that, and okay, history repeats itself. I have some aging veterans on my team who's very good at their position, but do I want to give them second contracts knowing that, in a year or two, these guys might not be at the top of their game like they are right now? So understanding that, I kind of understand where Howie wants to do. I can kind of see the vision a little bit, but it's still a little bleak because of the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade, and we don't have that guy in the building right now, that emotional leader on the secondary, on the back end of the defense that's going to hit you, that you're going to hear him, and you're not just going to come in to the link and, do whatever like the 49ers did last season. We're going to have that guy. We need that guy on the defense like C.J. Gardner, that emotional leader who brought it every game, brought it every play. And even when he didn't bring it, he held himself accountable. And when other guys weren't doing it, he held them accountable as well. But you guys let me know how you feel in the comments down below. I want to give a huge shout out to Nolan Smith, because he went on the 4th and 1 show with Cam Newton and defended our QB1, Jalen Hurts, and answered the question on why isn't he asked to do as much as the other quarterbacks that are considered elite.
Do you guys have that in y'all back pocket, like especially for Jalen, right, where he's been measured up by guys who does put the ball in the air for 300 yards, 400 yards, when you got a guy across from you, your team leader in Jalen Hurts, knowing that what's asked of him isn't the same as a Josh Allen, how do you guys protect him knowing that, hey, that's still our guy, this is our brand of ball, and we try to protect it or try to perfect it the best we know how?
Man, I'll say this about one. That's what I call him, one, because he that one. Like, man, he do everything the right way. And then not only is during the times when people are waving stuff, man, he get us through there no matter what. Like my rookie year, Kelly Green game, we going to overtime, sorry team. I'm thinking, man, we about to lose. What one do? Ain't nobody, no read, it's wet, raining, everybody slipping, he running in for a touchdown. And I say, man, having faith in your quarterback is also another thing. Like, only time I ever watched the Carolina football team is when Cam played and was out there and giving them boys confidence and motivating in themselves. The boys were sorry. But made them feel like they could do something. Okay, that's all I gotta say. One.
Come on now.
Okay, and that's the same thing for us. Yes, one is a great quarterback. He's not asked to do what Josh Allen does. Wanna know why? We got Saquon Barkley. We got offensive weapons. We got real people. So if you just go out there and play good football, and you play behind your defense, there's no reason we should lose.
Let me just say right here, right now, on the Eagle Centric show, there will be no Jalen Hurts slander tolerated here. I am a huge Jalen Hurts fan, breed of one. That's my guy. I understand that he's not looked at as the top quarterback in the league, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. Who cares? That's our quarterback in Philly. We love him. The criticism is warranted when he has a bad game, but can we still get the praise when he has a great game? I want the praise to be just as loud as the hate is when my guy has a great game. Jalen Hurts, breed of one, Philly. Let's go. Go Birds. They hate us. We don't care. In all seriousness, Cam Newton did walk his statements back where he said Jalen Hurts was a game manager. And to be honest, we all love Cam. Cam has been a huge inspiration to all of the kids growing up, especially when I was younger and I was playing football. Everybody wanted to be Cam, especially the younger quarterbacks. So all salute to Cam Newton. Check this out.
He's thrusted himself into elite status because no matter what the circumstance is, in the famous words of Coach Belichick, you win the game how the game needs to be won. And that's what Jalen Hurts has done.
Who is your role spark plug from the Super Bowl, Cam?
I'm going with the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. If going into that game, Steve Spagnuolo, you say to yourself, we're going to take what got him here away. And that's Saquon Barkley. But if Jalen Hurts beats us, it is what it is. You compound that with a couple turnovers and still allowing, hey, that person to beat you, you can lose like that. You don't take into consideration of turnovers or field position, but Jalen Hurts made the most of every single opportunity, and I'm just so proud just to say that. And I've been extremely critical of Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Even so much so, like, interviewing him and us talking off the record is like, yo, bro, like, what's up? It was a little contentious. Sitting back and watching him perform, bro, I could not be more happy because he's the guy that everybody praises athletes to be. Humble. Don't be a distraction. Is the most disrespected football player, and in large part, rightfully so. Too much is given, much is required.
Now that we got that out of the way, Zach Bond, who just signed a massive contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, 3 years, making him the 5th highest paid linebacker in the NFL, held a press conference today, speaking about the expectations, some of the pressures, being a leader, moving on into the 25 season. You guys listen to this.
I just think about what we did in 1 year with so many new pieces, coaches and players included. And I think about my own personal development in that same sense, where if I can move off the ball and play inside linebacker and do what I did and that was kind of my starting point. I'm excited for this team and this defense moving forward. I'm really excited to continue to build on what we did last year. I feel like that's something I've wanted to do myself, and not just because BG's leaving or other guys are leaving, but because I want to grow it as myself as a leader and as a guy on this team that can have a voice and be impactful to the guys in this defense and this team.
Kind of great with those things that Zach Bond said. We're going to need that leadership moving forward. We're going to need all of those things. The expectation is going to be super high. It's going to be extremely high when thinking about the year two, the starting role, the quarterback of the defense with Zach Bond. And so a lot of expectations is going to be put on Zach Bond next year. I think he can live up to them, but he is 29 and there's going to be some doubt also. So if he could just live up to the expectation, I mean, if he can exceed the expectation, that'll be even better. I think Zach Bond will do great, though. Under Vic Fangio's second year, I mean, the sky is the limit for Zach Bond. Here at Centric, we're still on our journey for 2,000 subscribers. If we can reach that amount of subscribers before the beginning of the 2025 NFL season, we'll be giving away an Eagles game ticket, home or away. Your choice. All you have to do is go down below right now and click the subscribe button. Be blessed and go Birds. Be sure to go like and subscribe to Centric. Centric is where you get your 24/7 Eagle news. To all of my Centric Eagle fans out there, Centric 24/7 Eagle news. Go follow on all platforms now. Centric. Go Birds, baby.